Complex words. The majority of English words of more than one syllable, polysyllabic words, have come from other languages whose way of constructing words is easily recognizable. For example, you can see how combining meet with the prefix per, sub, com, produce, permit, submit, commit, words which have come into English from Latin. Similarly, Greek has given us catalog, analog, dialogue, monologue, in which the prefix kata, ana, dia, mono are recognizable. Complex words are two major types. First, words made from a basic word form, which we will call the stem, with the addition of an affix, and two, compound words which are made of two or occasionally more independent English words. Example, ice cream, armchair. Affix have one of three possible effects on word stress. First, the affix itself receives the primary stress. Example, semi plus circle, semicircle. LT plus person, its personality. 2. The word is stressed as if the affix were not there. Example, pleasant, unpleasant. Market, marketing. Number 3. The stress remains on the stem, not the affix, but is shifted to a different syllable. Example, magnet, magnetic. Suffix. A suffix is a word ending a group of letters you can add to the end of a root word. Example, walking, helpful. A root word stands on its own as a word, but you can make new words from it by adding beginnings, prefix, and endings, suffix. For example, comfort is a root word. By adding suffix able, you can make new words such as comforting and comfortable. Adding suffix to words can change or add to their meaning, but they can also show how a word will be used in a sentence and what part of speech the word belongs to. Example, noun, verb, etc. Example, if you want to use the root word talk in the sentence, example, I was talked to Samina, then you must add the suffix ing so that the word talk makes better sense grammatical, like I was talking to Samina. Suffix carrying primary stress themselves. In the example given, which seems to be the most common, the main stress is on the first syllable of the suffix. Refuge, EER, mountaineer, volunteer. ESE, Portuguese, journalist. ESQUE, picturesque. Suffix that do not affect stress placement. ABLE, able, comfort, comfortable. NESS, knees, yellow, yellowness. LESS, please, power, powerless. Y, adjective or noun, fun, funny. Suffix that influence stress in the stem. In the examples, primary stress is on the last syllable of stem. EOUS, EOS, advantage, advantages. IEL, proverb, proverbial. ION, perfect, perfection. TY, tranquil, tranquility.
Prefix. We will look only briefly at prefix. Their effect on stress does not have the comparative regularity, independence, and predictability of suffix, and there is no prefix of one or two syllables that always cause primary stress. Consequently, The best treatment seems to be to say that stress in words with prefix is covered by the same rules as those for polysyllabic words without prefix. 7.4 Compound words. The main characteristic of compound words is it can be analyzed into two words, both of which can exist independently as English words. Some compounds are made of more than two words, but we will not consider this. As with many of the distinctions being made in connection with stress, there are areas of uncertainty. For example, it could be argued that photograph may be divided into two independent words, photo and graph. We usually do not regard it as a compound but as a simple word. If, however, someone drew a graph displaying numerical information about photos, this would perhaps be called a photograph, and the word would then be regarded as a compound. Compounds are written in different ways, sometimes with two words separated by a space. Example, days space lamp, battery space charger. In this last case, there would be no indication to the foreign learner that the pair of words was to be treated as a compound. There is no clear dividing line between two words compounds and pairs of words that simply happen to occur together quite frequently. As far as stress is concerned, the question is quite simple. When is primary stress placed on the first consonant word of the compound and when on the second, what patterns are formed? The most familiar type of compound is the one which combines two nouns and which normally has the stress on the first element, as in typewriter, car ferry, sunrise, suitcase, teacup. It's probably safe to assume that stress will normally fall in this way on other compounds. However, a number of compounds receive stress instead on the second element. The first words in such compounds often have secondary stress. For example, compounds with an adjectival first element and the ed morpheme at the end have this pattern given in spelling only. Bad-tempered, half-tempered, heavy-handed. Compounds in which the first element is a number in some form also tend to have final stress, as in three-wheeler, second class, five-finger. Compounds functioning as adverbs are usually final stressed. Head first, north, east, downstream. Finally, compounds which function as verb and have an adverbial first element take final stress. Downgrade, backpedal, ill-treat.
Variable stress. It would be wrong to imagine that the stress pattern is always fixed and unchanging in English words. Stress position may vary for one of two reasons, either as a result of the stress on the words occurring next to the word in question, or because not all speakers agree on the placement of stress in some words. The former case is an aspect of connected speech that will be encountered again in chapter 14. The main effect is that the stress on the final stressed compound tends to move to a preceding syllable and change to secondary stress if the following word begins with a strongly stressed syllable. Thus, using some examples from the previous section. Bad, tempered, but a bad tempered teacher. Have, timbered, but a bad timbered house. Heavy-handed, but a heavy-handed sentence. The second is not a serious problem, but is one that foreign learners should be aware of. A well-known example is controversy, which is pronounced by some speakers as controversy and by others as controversy. It would be quite wrong to say that one version was correct and one incorrect. Other examples of different possibilities are ice cream, either ice cream, kilometer, either kilometer, and formidable, or formidable. 11.6 Word class pairs. One aspect of word studies is best treated as a separate issue. There are several dozen pairs of two-syllable words with identical spelling which differ from each other in stress placement. Apparently, according to word class, noun, verb, or adjective all appear to consist of prefix plus them. We shall treat them as a special type of word and give them the following rule. If a pair of prefix plus them words exist, both members of which are spelled identically, one of which is a verb and the other of which is either a noun or an adjective, then the stress is placed on the second syllable of the verb but on the first syllable of the noun or adjective. Some common examples are given below. V equals verb, A equals adjective, N equals noun. Abstract, adverb, abstract, verb, abstract. Conduct, noun, conduct, verb, conduct. Contract, noun, contract, verb, contract. Contrast, noun, contrast, verb, contrast. Desert, noun, desert, verb, desert. Escort, noun, escort, verb, escort. Export, noun, export, verb, export. Import, noun, import, verb, import. Insult, noun, insult, verb, insult. Object, noun, object, verb, object. Perfect, adjective, perfect, verb, perfect. Permit, noun, permit, verb, permit. Present, noun and adjective, present, verb, present. Produce, noun, produce, verb, produce. protest. Noun, protest. Verb, protest. Rebel. Noun, rebel. Verb, rebel. Record. Noun and adjective, record. Verb, record. Subject. Noun, subject. Verb, subject.